With the Hall of Fame game over in week 1 of the preseason about to begin tomorrow night, we have a bunch of clips here of different players doing their thing during training camp. Now, here's the thing with training camp. There's a lot of news that comes out of it, but while we're sitting here, let's talk about some of the players that I think are making a big jump in the first couple weeks of training camp. Tank Bigsby is one with that 70-yard run touchdown that you saw in the very beginning of this clip. Another thing that we're seeing right here is Tua throwing it out the Waddle, which is amazing. We got some Josh Allen, the Gabe Davis, and we're hearing he's healthy this year. That could be amazing. One of the players I want you to keep an eye on is Luke Musgrave. Right now in camp, they're coming out and they're saying that he, for his size, is one of the fastest human beings they have ever seen. They said miles per hour running, he is right up there with Christian Watson, who obviously has about 10 to 15 rounds of draft capital on him. Now, you got players like Sam Laporta here. You should keep an eye on him as well because Sam Laporta is the only tight end in Detroit these days. With him being the only tight end in Detroit and with Jamil Williams being out for 6 games with the suspension, he could really heat up. Another player here while we're looking at the Bears is Chase Claypool. He's been making a lot of plays, a lot of one-handed grabs. They've been using him down in the red zone, and they need him to perform. As the 32nd overall pick, basically, with that trade, they need him to do his thing within the games, or they're going to look like the losers of that trade. Now, with training camp comes the same thing. As good news, there is bad news, and a lot of it is injuries. And the biggest one so far is Joe Burrow with the calf injury. Now, this doesn't worry me because he wasn't going to play much in the preseason anyway. They're going to use this time for him to heal. No, Jamar Chase saying come back by week 5 doesn't scare me either. Joe Burrow is too much of a competitor to do that. I think he'll be out there week 1, barring any setbacks. But keep an eye on it. Right now, with injuries, what you're really looking for is the backup running backs. You're looking at lineman injuries. They're very important because the linemen make the running backs the gods of fantasy. Because without a good offensive line, you can't do anything. Take a look at Justin Herbert. When Rashawn Slater went down, he had to start dumping the ball off a little bit more, which elevated Eckler in the passing game. But in the running game, it didn't help that much. It hurt them as a team overall, and they had the lowest ADOT of Justin Herbert's career. So things can matter like that. You have to keep an eye on that. Now, there are some people like Justin Ross who are coming off of a season-long injury and are looking amazing. They're leaving people in the dust all the time. You got people like Darren Waller here who are just making amazing catches, although I am fading him this year because he broke 0 tackles last year, and having an unathletic tight end is just something I don't want. Another player making some waves is Bijan Robinson, and I need you to forget about what the training camp depth chart says, that he is a third stringer. It's an unofficial depth chart. Unofficial depth charts will not matter, so do not pay too much attention to that. Now, before you watch the rest of these clips, a couple of players that are really standing out to me are Elijah Moore, like you'll see here in this clip. They're using him as a running back in the slot. They're using him all over, and we know he has talent. So if you put a talent in a situation where they're going to have to run 11 personnel more often because of the talent they have around a quarterback that they're paying a bajillion dollars to, he could pop off. Another wide receiver is Jackson Smith-Njigba, and I don't think any of us are surprised by that. He's a very talented receiver. They're going to lean on him for yak in the game. And Geno Smith is one of the most accurate low ball throwers there is. And by low ball, I mean short yardage. He's one of the best at it, and if you put him with JSN to do it, we know that won't be Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett will just go down and make sure he's safe. JSN should pop off. And finally, we'll talk about this 49ers quarterback situation. I think it should be Trey Lance deep down. I know it's going to be Brock Purdy. They're going to give him every shot to win this job. And if he doesn't win this job, they'll switch over to Trey Lance pretty quickly. I believe there's going to be a very short leash there, 4 to 5 games, that if Brock Purdy doesn't look like the old Brock Purdy, that's going to be an issue because Trey Lance has the high draft capital, and he also has the Konami code mobility to him, which really makes this team a dangerous thing if he can learn how to play the quarterback position in a much better sense when it comes to passing the ball. Now, week one, training camp, not everything is going to matter. Some things will. We'll come back every week and talk about this. But let me know which players you think are really popping off in training camp. Tell me which players you think are scaring you in training camp. Does the Joe Burrow injury scare you off the Bengals? Let me know your thoughts so far, and thank God football's back. Please go like and subscribe and share this video. Let's build a community together because I love talking football, and I can't wait to keep doing it with all of you.